Welcome to Her Story, the story of a girl, an artist to be precise, told to you by her mainly reliable narrator, me, her, Claire. I was in need of a change, a fresh start. I had known it deep down for a while now, but change is awkward, hardly ever aesthetically pleasing, and taking that step to action it is always the hardest part. But long ago I cast myself as the leading lady who knew her dreams and romanticised her life. So I knew I owed her, me, the start of the next chapter. So that's what we're doing. This summer is going to be, well, an adventure, but some context is needed first. Henri Matisse once said, "Creativity takes courage," which is why in 2020, in the midst of a very uncertain world, I thought it was a good idea to uproot our lives in pursuit of a slower pace of life and to build my own art studio surrounded by one of my work's core inspirations, nature. Which, all in all, was so much harder than it sounded. I know, shock. So I moved into an old renovated pub in the English countryside with my now husband Scott and our dog Granger. Yes, as in Hermione, although she's been a Slytherin since birth, truth be told. Honestly, despite the joy of our new home, for over a year I was studioless and quickly realised the dream of building my own would have to be shelved. For now. By March 2021 I had finally found a space and rented a studio in an old Victorian workshop. With a studio in place, I hit the ground running with my art practice and career. For 3 years solid. No looking back, no regrets. Which brings us to now, September 2024. Over the past 3 years, a lot has changed. My creative family has grown, I've launched giant public artworks all over the world, and I finally started work on my first collection of poetry. But the one thing that hasn't changed is her. Well, me. I mean, of course I have grown and evolved, but the vision of this mostly reliable narrator has stayed the same. And now, well, the timing feels right for her to build the dream studio. So let's bring you up to speed. We have just put our house on the market. My artistic life has quite literally been boxed up and moved into storage, and I have officially left the studio. So in essence, I'm back to square one. I am studioless again, but this square one is on a whole new page. Our goal is to buy a new home, to buy some land, and at last build my dream studio. Now I know what you're thinking, Claire, these things take time. But this is a journey and a process I'm honestly excited to lean into. So whilst we view properties and people view ours, I'm going to embark on the first step of this adventure. A season of the world is my studio, travelling to different locations and sending you chapters and postcards along the way. Starting in Wales next week and ending in Miami at some point in October. Literally everything in between, all the ifs and whats and whens, are up in the air and yet to play out, and I really don't know what the future holds. But I do know I'm excited to see, and I hope you'll join me, her, Claire, as I try to honestly narrate this next chapter. Sending love, your mostly reliable narrator, Claire.